What's going on, guys? Cyber Gaming here, and welcome back to the Star Wars Battlefront 3 show. Now, today we're going to be doing a less formal video, more casual. I got a commentary for you here on Hoth Battlefront 2 gameplay, playing as the Empire as an engineer. I don't know about you, but I personally beast with the shotgun, so why not? I figured, just to give it up a little try, change it up a little bit instead of using, leaked images and all that good stuff on the internet, because really when there's not as much new stuff leaking, there's only so much I could show on the show. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to go with a gameplay. And what we're going to be talking about today is DICE and how they are working on a new Battlefront game, and if DICE is working on Battlefront 3. So jump right into that. So essentially, as we all know here, EA did acquire an exclusive game license to develop all the Star Wars games for the next couple of years. Now, you know this probably because you heard it in the news or you saw my last video on the Star Wars Battlefront 3 show, and that's what I was talking about. So the question is, though, what are these games that these companies are making? Are they Battlefront 3? Are they other games? Personally, I mean, come on. When you hear DICE, the makers of Battlefield, a fantastic shooter, are using the Frostbite engine to work on a new Star Wars game, you gotta know it's gonna be a shooter. But the question is, are we gonna see a new franchise here? Are we gonna see the continuation of Battlefront? Is it gonna be Battlefront 3? Is it gonna be a new Battlefront title? That's not like actual, number 3. That who knows? I mean, as far as I think, I really do think it's going to be a shooter, and I think it's going to be somewhere along in the Battlefront name. If you guys don't know, they actually just renewed the trademark for Star Wars Battlefront. Apparently with the trademark thing, if you're not actually using the trademark, you got to give it up. And LucasArts has applied for an extension to give them 6 months, I believe, before they have to submit their statement of use, which is how they're going to use the trademark. So they did apply for an extension on this trademark, which could mean that they do plan on using it. It could just mean that they want to protect their intellectual property and are kind of stalling out on it. I don't know. But we do know that they want to hang on to that Battlefront name. The question is, though, that I've been seeing some other people saying is that, does EA have the rights to use this Battlefront name? Because it doesn't belong to them, it belongs to LucasArts. Well, you know what? LucasArts is a licensing company now. There would be no point for them to just hold on to the Battlefront name and not allow other people to use it. The whole point of what is left of LucasArts as a company is to license out these titles and such. So I would say that the Battlefront name is probably up for grabs. If EA is making games, I'm sure, I'm going to debunk that right now. In my opinion, if they are making the games, I'm more than sure that they are allowed to use the Battlefront title. It wouldn't make sense otherwise, especially with all the hype being around the actual Battlefront name. So is it going to be a Battlefront game from DICE? I think so. Is it going to be Battlefront 3? Some people say it might not be Battlefront 3, and I can see why. Battlefront 1 and 2 came from the same developer, and Battlefront 3 coming out, 8 years later now from a different developer? Why make it a direct sequel? I don't know. As far as I can see, I would say the hype train would be the biggest reason for them to actually use that same namesake, because right now, what's hot? Battlefront 3. And I can tell you right now, after spending a year building up this Battlefront 3 show, I would be pretty mad if the next game to come out isn't Battlefront 3, because then I gotta start all over on a series. But, my wants for video series aren't the point here. I think that it'll be another Battlefront game, and if it's not an actual Battlefront game by namesake, I think what we'll be seeing is pretty much the equivalent, even if it's not called Battlefront 3. Oh, and I died. So, that's the question. Is the game that DICE is making Battlefront 3? Is Visceral making Battlefront 3? Is BioWare making Battlefront 3? I doubt Visceral or BioWare is making Battlefront 3. And if there's any company out there that is making Battlefront 3, I think it's safe to say that it's DICE. And, I mean, that's kind of my opinion on this. I really think that DICE is making Battlefront 3 for sure. I don't think it's a question. I think whatever the game is, I think it's going to be Battlefront 3 or the equivalent of Battlefront 3. Like I said, if there's no namesake, it's going to be a game similar. And hopefully, I'm just hoping that us fans enjoy it. I personally do not think that EA is going to mess up Star Wars. I think we might have to deal with a little bit of publisher trouble because, EA as a publisher might not be our favorite people. But as far as their developers, BioWare, Visceral, DICE, I mean, come on. We all know those are great development studios. And so even if their publishing company might not have the best practices, might be a little money hungry, it doesn't stop these studios from being able to make good games. And I can tell you without a doubt that whatever EA does announce over the next few years, and whatever they do release, whether the game is absolute crap or not, I'm going to buy it. And I'm going to give it a try before I judge it. I'm not going to not buy it just because it's EA, because I don't think that's fair. And I really, EA's been undergoing new management from what I hear, and I actually have some faith that they could do something good with this. And I'm really excited to see what they do with the Star Wars brand. And I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys excited to see what they do with it? I know I got a lot of feedback from this on my last video. You guys were, some of you were really excited for this, and some of you were just like, oh no, this is horrible. And I don't know. I feel like it could go either way. But really, in the end, I'm glad to see something being done. This game's been canceled twice now. And I'm just tired of it being canceled and seeing all this leaked gameplay of games that I'll never get to play. So at least I kind of know in my heart somewhere that even if I don't get to play Battlefront 3 the game, I'll get to play something that will hopefully fill the void. And so that's kind of where I'm going to end off on this video. Hope you enjoy this commentary style as opposed to this, me just, showing random pictures and such, or just talking. I thought this might be a little more interesting to show something a little more relevant. So, what do you guys think? Do you think DICE is making Battlefront 3? I do. And I've said that. If they're not making Battlefront 3, they're making something pretty close and that's going to fill the void. And I think that's really just the point, DICE is working on something good. It's going to be a Star Wars shooter, and it's probably going to be pretty good. If you guys are Battlefield fans, you're probably going to like the next Battlefront. If you guys are Battlefront fans, well, hopefully they'll still, make enough similarities to where it won't just feel like a Battlefront skinned Battlefield. I don't think we'll have to worry about that. I'm confident that DICE will be able to make a quality game. I'm confident that Visceral and BioWare will throw out some cool stuffs too. And what are your thoughts on this? Leave a comment down below. And I'll check you guys out in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. The Star Wars Battlefront 3 show is a show where I give you all the updates and news and even talk about certain topics like this one about Battlefront 3. If you're not subscribed, you're really missing out on the scoop because I report everything as soon as it happens. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Again, let me know what you think of the commentary style over the gameplay. Would you rather see me do something else? And I apologize that I wasn't like too active in the actual gameplay. It's because I was more focused on the actual video this time. Once I get a little more comfortable with playing and talking at the same time, it'll be a little more interesting. Again, see you later. Thanks for watching. Peace.